Last night, Bill O'Reilly did two amazing things. He was willing to allow a person to come onto his show who was going to provide evidence that was counter to a position that he held. And then, in addition, after hearing that evidence, he appears to have actually modified his position. I've never seen it before.
First time it's ever happened
amazing.
In the history of cable news.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see how fast he backtracks. But anyway, this did happen. We're going to show it to you. It's about Planned Parenthood. It's in this clip.
The congresswoman says that fetal tissue, the selling of body parts by Planned Parenthood, has wiped out measles and everything else. What is the truth?
Fetal tissue research has saved millions of lives, Bill. Look at polio, 1954. That vaccine was created through a kidney cell from a fetus. You've got the vaccines now. Chickenpox, rubella, that's German measles, hepatitis, shingles, rabies are all from fetal tissue research. Those from two aborted fetuses back in the 1960s. They've grown the cell lines since then. But the scientists say a lot of research now in Parkinson, spinal cords, ALS, Alzheimer's, Down syndrome, degenerative eye disease, and the Ebola vaccine that's created this year all came from and are being researched by using fetal tissue. They say it's really invaluable.
All right, so there is a point that you say fetal tissue from aborted babies can be used for good. That's true.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
So it's all a matter of regulating the situation and making sure that it isn't abused or isn't used for, it all goes into this good research, and I think that's what everybody is wanting to see.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. It's what everybody's wanting to see. No, it isn't. Actually.
Yeah, that's the part where it's not true. They don't want that. They want it shut down because they don't have any information. They don't know any of what that guy just said. They don't know any of that. But the fact that he's been against it in the past, and now he's saying, oh, it saves people. We should probably keep it going.
Yeah, because he brought in a guy, I guess Eric Shawn, I guess is Fox News' senior medical correspondent or something.
Senior fetal research.
He was yesterday.
Yeah, he was, right.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And Bill probably likes him, right? And he's like, oh, he's not lying, right? Yeah. And so that, and then that moment that is really, for years, one of my, when discussing the pointlessness of 98% of cable news, right? There are some shows that are exceptions, but they are rare, is that a genre established to have people argue with each other, right? Just to have nothing. You would think that a goal would be to have someone win. We like winners in America, right? Somebody who won the argument, who convinced the other side. But in 25 years of cable news, nobody has ever said, huh, you know what, Larry? That's a really good point. I never thought about it that way. Never. It's never happened.
We say that here.
And then the first.
But he wasn't arguing with the guy, though.
I got it, but it's literally. But we know that Bill's point previously. I'm sure we don't have to have seen the shows. We know. Oh, we got Planned Parenthood selling fetal organs. Yeah.
And he hates abortion. He's been talking about it forever.
I'm always wondering how are you misusing a fetus?
Yeah,
no, an aborted fetus specifically.
An aborted fetus.
Yeah, look, the idea of doing research on an aborted fetus, I think, makes everybody extremely uncomfortable. But the fetus was aborted. Does incinerating it or burying it, is that less uncomfortable? And this is what medicine is. This is one of the reasons why doctors are such amazing people, is that they do stuff like this. Almost everything that we know, everything that we've learned, is by doing uncomfortable stuff. Like, for instance, dissecting human bodies for a couple of hundred years to start to understand how our systems actually work. That's what they did. They took corpses and they opened them up and they saw how things work. They did it in some cases on living bodies as well. That's what the research is. And it doesn't matter if non-doctors find it to be a little bit uncomfortable. We don't know what we're talking about most of the time, including Bill O'Reilly. Now, thankfully, that guy did know that. And one of the great things is that a lot of the treatments that they get from doing this fetal tissue research specifically helps fetuses. Fetuses that we want to be birthed into the world can be helped by the research that's done on aborted fetuses.
And those tapes showed that all Planned Parenthood was doing following the regulations that Bill says he'd like. There are regulations, they're following them.
And that's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah. Here's what those tapes proved. Scientists can be awkward conversationalists. That's what those tapes prove.